Okay, how to negotiate a split with your broker. I want to talk about that real quick. Tara, just so you know, the article, I've already started writing it, so I'm going to read most of it and then expand on it a little bit so you can doctor it up. So I wrote the majority of it and I'll share it with you. So one, it starts with mindset. And I have 3 quotes up there that I start off with, and then I kind of break down those quotes. So the first one is, in the absence of value, money becomes the negotiable. Couldn't find the actual original source for that quote, so I put unknown. The other next quote is, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. That's Sun Tzu from The Art of War. And also, this is my version of it. There's other versions out there, but I'm the only one I've ever heard say this exact thing that I've kind of built into something with my sales teams and just in businesses, is you can either be right or get what you want, rarely both. So if you look at the first quote, and I'm just going to read the article. If you're reading this article, chances are you're not seeing the value from your current brokerage, or you're seeing that others have far more to offer. Deep down, your real estate broker likely knows he or she is not living up to par anyway. Use this phrase and mindset, that first one, in the absence of value, money becomes a negotiable. Use this phrase and mindset to take control of the conversation. In other words, there is an absence of value, otherwise you wouldn't even be considering you wouldn't even be considering trying to renegotiate your split. If they were giving you everything you wanted and you had no complaints, then you probably wouldn't even be thinking about that. Now next, taking a look at the second quote, which is, if you know your enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the outcome of 100 battles. You can now start to prepare for the conversation. You have to know that you're dealing with somebody who is more of a business owner and manager than a typical real estate agent, so likely they don't think the way you think. You need to shift your thinking to how they think. That is to say, stop thinking in percentages and start thinking in dollars. As real estate pros, we live and die by the almighty percentage. We've been conditioned to trip over percentages when most people, including your broker, think in dollars. So when you're asking for a better split, have a proposition based on real money, not on percentages. Chances are, if you plan growth, more on that later, if you plan growth and hit those numbers, you'll end up making your broker more money, even if you have a better split, right? Or a worse split, depending on who you're talking about. But even if you have a different split, if your business grows, you'll end up making them more money. So focus on the money, not on the percentage. Position your growth as a positive for the broker. Remember, everyone is tuned into the same radio station. It's called WIFM, which stands for What's in It for Me. And you have to appeal to what motivates them to consider your proposal. No one likes an agent who starts with, I need. Terrible way to negotiate. Next is disarmament. And what I mean by that is, it's not just a political term or a military term. Disarmament, I'm not going to post this video, so don't worry. It's just for Tara. Next thing is disarmament. It's not just a political term. It's not just a military term. It's a real term of a way to engage in negotiations and confrontation of any type. What that means by disarmament is having a way of disarming other party is required. The type of disarmament I'm referring to in this case, however, is with regards to the holes and weaknesses you may actually bring to the table as an agent. Sure, you could always benefit from some leverage, but you want to make sure that you're shoring up your armor before you go into battle. Not just poking out their holes, but knowing how to cover your back. And knowing your numbers is a big part of that. Have a business plan with growth projection and evidence of success. Also, it never hurts to have a secret weapon, something like a quality lead source that you can count on to generate X amount more sales over the next 12 months. And if you know that number, you're much more equipped to go in and have this negotiation go your way. This will give you evidence supporting your argument of making the broker more money even with a different split. Also, a high quality CRM that is built for your business, which will increase transparency and productivity. That's a great thing to have because you can point to that again, knowing that, hey, I am actually set up for success to see growth, so therefore I deserve a better split, because you're still going to make more, if not the exact same amount of money, even though I have a different split. Knowing your broker will ask questions about your plan to justify your shiny new split, and being prepared will make all the difference. Real estate brokers are not in the business of losing money. You need to prove to them that they're not going to lose any money by giving you a better split, that they're either going to break the exact same amount or they're going to make even more money, right? And if you don't understand that, you probably shouldn't be in real estate. So That's not part of the article. Add that. A few other things you have to consider is having it written up and ready to present is a business plan and a marketing plan, a clear projection of how many homes you will close in the year, and the corresponding closing ratios, just to name a few things. And then lastly, what I really want to do is just talk about you can either be right or get what you want. It's not about equity. Don't say, so-and-so has another split and I deserve that split too. Guess what? Your broker doesn't care and does not have to play by those rules. Equality inside the private industry doesn't exist. Get over it and stop asking for equality and fairness and start working toward getting your unfair advantage. There's no reason you shouldn't be part of inequality. Just be on the right side of the equation. And if you can't handle that, you should get out of real estate. You're going to see that message come through quite consistently. Now, the last thing, or a couple just a couple quick things to wrap up. One is, a great question to ask is, position it like you're on their side of the table. Nobody likes negotiating against anybody. They like problem solving with somebody along their side. So one of the best ways you can approach this, and whether it's commission split with your brokerage or even helping your spouse get a raise at their job, or if you have a job or whatever it is, the best way to approach it is, hey, what would need to happen in the next 30 days for my split to end up going from 60-40 to 70-30? What would you need to see? Right? That's a great way of saying, let's solve this problem together. Now, the other thing is this is just negotiation. Can you do any better? If you don't ask when they give you, oh, well, I can do this. If you don't ask, can you do any better 3 times minimum in a conversation and a negotiation, you're leaving something on the table. Can you do any better? Can you do any better? Can you do any better? Push it. Push it. And if they say no, okay, can you do any better? You sure you can't do any better? Okay, let's step back. I'm being sincere. Can you do any better? What that does is that makes them, one is you just want to see if they can do any better. 2, it kind of puts them like, maybe they got another offer from somebody else and they just don't want to tell me and they're hoping I can match it. Gets them thinking. So lastly, if you end up in that negotiation, you use these tactics correctly, you come with the right mindset, you ask the right questions, you do the disarmament exercises, and you're still not getting what you want, 2 outcomes. You either need to start leaning more heavily on your broker and get that value out of that. If you're at a 60-40 split, a 70-30 split, get everything you can for that amount of money that you're paying. You're paying them. You are paying the broker. Work them like an employee. Ask them every question. When you have a question, call them and call them and call them and text them and all that. And when they finally go, dude, why are you bugging me so much? Because I pay you. You work for me. I pay you every time I close a deal. And if not, I'm going to go to the next shop in town. That's the other alternative. You either get your value out of them. You go to every training. You take ownership of your own darn life and your own business. You go to every training. You ask them every question, or go find another broker. And if you want to do that, check out this website. I forget what it's called, but Tara, go find the website where we drive recruits. And go check that out and find a new broker. We can help you. When brokers compete, agents win.